The movie Am I Racist, Alan? You like that film?
Yes, I did. I love that film.
Not only a really good doc that tackled a social issue,
Mm-hmm.
it's also a doc that was very funny. I would even go so far as to say, Am I Racist? Was one of the funniest films of the year. It was hilarious, mocking the DEI, DEI being infecting every industry, everything. And he focuses on Matt Walsh, controversial figure for some. I think he's a common sense guy. I don't agree with him on everything, but I love what I love the conversations he starts, and it's worth looking at everything he does. So, his movie Am I Racist also happened to be it was the biggest box office of the year for a documentary, an independent film, over 10 million at the box office, highest grossing doc in maybe a decade, and an important one because the focus of the doc, Am I Racist? When it's very funny, but it focuses on the race grifters that continue to create a divide in this country over race. I thought in the 90s, wow, we mostly don't care about race. Nobody cares. And somehow racism has been monetized through these DEI programs. And we've seen what it's done to entertainment. We've gone over it many times. Let's focus on just his movie. Matt Walsh, the Academy Awards announced the short list for documentaries. These are their top 15 films in the genre that will be whittled down to 5 nominees. Am I Racist did not make the top 15, even though it is the highest grossing doc of the decade and easily the most talked about, most watched, and most influential documentary of this year. He is correct. This is the outcome I expected, of course, but it doesn't make it any less of a farce. He goes on to say, if a conservative can make a documentary that crushes every other film in its genre that year and beats every film in its genre in the past 6 or 7 years, and yet still not even crack the top 15, that means that conservatives are simply excluded from having their work recognized. Again, this is not a surprise, but that's what it means. One thing I've learned after getting into filmmaking is that the left truly believes it owns the art of filmmaking. Any conservative who makes a film is an intruder, a sinister usurper, showing up in a place where he doesn't belong. The truth is that the success of my films, and they are both easily the most watched and influential documentaries of the decade, actually makes it less likely they'll be recognized by critics or awards. Our success is an affront to them. They hate us for it. Now, Alan, what are your thoughts? I'll tell you quickly. This is BS. We are one of the few outlets that not only reviewed his movie, Am I Racist? We reviewed What is a Woman, both on the website. Our reviews ended up on Rotten Tomatoes and on YouTube here. And I saw Am I Racist 3 times. And I saw it with different groups of people. I saw it with people who were not white, who thought it was hilarious. Our friend Dante James from Verbal Riot and Derek Anderson, the DA. So BS, I call BS on this. If the Academy wants to bridge the divide, heal what's happening in this country, start acknowledging these films. And it should be pointed out, Film Threat is a politically agnostic film outlet. We review films on the left, on the right, I don't care. But I have seen over the last decade, documentaries become increasingly filled with agenda. If you look at the source of financing, you'll notice that so many docs already have. It used to be that a doc filmmaker, I'm going to seek the truth. Here's a topic I'm interested in. I'm going to interview people, get a cross section of opinions, and let the viewer decide how to think about an issue. And humor is a great way to discuss serious issues, which I think Matt Walsh did an amazing job both in What Is a Woman and Am I Racist, I think is even funnier. What Is a Woman gets kind of dark a couple times. But this film is an important film. Whether you like Matt Walsh, whether you're on the left or the right, doesn't matter. It's an important film. It deserved to be nominated for an Oscar. So, Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, well, like you, when I saw it in a fairly packed theater, there was a non-white person in the audience. That was me. But to Matt Walsh's point, I mean, are you not surprised?
I'm not surprised.
This is, we can go back 20, 30 years and this would be true. He could have made the movie long ago and he wouldn't get nominated for it. I mean, there's certain realities you just accept in that, yes, the left owns film, cinema, art, and documentaries, and especially when it comes to recognizing good ones and bad ones. That's why anything Michael Moore makes will always get nominated, and why anything coming out of the Daily Wire will never get nominated. Right. There's just a certain reality there. But also to his point, it's a well-crafted documentary. It has a point it needs to make. What I appreciate about the movie is that it allows the opposition, the people who he's kind of working against here, to say that to speak their truth, to say everything they need to say. He doesn't censor them at all. While when you watch the other Academy Award winning documentaries, a lot of the responses from the opposition are edited. You can tell they're taken out of context. And that's not good documentary technique.
No.
So, when it came up, when you see Matt Walsh kind of talk about and complain about it, it was like, you knew the result long before you submitted your film to the Academy. So, I think it's, if anything, the good thing that comes out of this is we're talking about it. He's bringing it up. And, before November, I think we would have been kind of skittish or most people would be skittish about talking about this openly and publicly in fear of getting canceled and fear of, being called a racist, all the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis. So, I'm, at least we're talking about it, because I don't think we would have ever been talking about this for the last few years.
Well, it's worth seeing the movie, and I paid to see it in the theater. And I don't know. I don't like what I see in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of another media outlet that is politically agnostic. If you look at things like The Wrap, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, at least the Hollywood Reporter and Variety have talked about the movie Am I Racist? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a conversation with Matt Walsh, and they did a screening for the Academy for the
but something needs to change, and this is wrong, and people need to stop being afraid to speak out. They need to speak out.